Hey guys, what's going on? It's Andy Elliott. I'm here today with my man Brian. Brian's with Dream Home Design. You guys probably saw him in our last podcast. Brian has an amazing cabinet company, and I'm going to tell you the story for 30 seconds, and I'm going to tell you why you want to listen to this. This story that we're about to go over with Brian is going to blow a lot of you out of the water because a lot of you have been making excuses why you can't do this, why you can't do that. You don't understand what happened to me. We're going to tell Brian's story here real quick, and I'm going to ask him some questions, and it's pretty crazy. Life is real. Life happens, and either you be a loser or you push through and become a winner. Okay, but I partnered with Brian's Dream Home Design cabinet company, and they make doors and all kinds of stuff. But primarily, they're amazing in the cabinet. They're the cabinet experts, and because me and my wife were building a home. And we have a beautiful home now, and we were supposed to move in way before we did. And the reason why we couldn't is because the guy that was making our cabinets, we spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, or maybe even $1 million. I don't even know what we spent on cabinets, but we spent all this money. And by the time it was supposed to be due, it ended up taking an additional 5 months longer. And anyways, I was so frustrated. Me and my wife were so frustrated. We met Brian, and I learned that what takes most cabinet companies 5 months to do, Brian can do in 30 days. Okay? By the way, that's insane. You know, a remodel, if you've ever remodeled or built something, I mean, you want to get that mess cleaned up. You want to start living in it. Okay? You don't want to live in chaos. And so that right there is what Brian does. He owns a cabinet company, and here's the cool thing. They're custom. If you can dream it, they'll make it, or if you want something awesome, they'll dream it and make it for you. They're an inside designer company, and the cabinets that they make, not only are they better quality, right, than what you'd find at Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff like that, they're priced aggressively with Lowe's and Home Depot and stuff like that, which is insane. So if you're looking at any way, shape, or form in the future to do a remodel, maybe you're a broker, you build houses, you do anything, you guys need to know him. There's going to be a link in the description box below. You can fill out some information. Brian himself will reach out to you in the next 24 hours. You guys can be connected with him. He'll do all the work for you. He's absolutely amazing. But let's get to today. What I want to talk about is overcoming tough adversity. Listen, I hear people say like, oh, it's so hard. And I ask them, what's hard? And they tell me what they say is hard. And what is hard to them is actually in reality not at all hard. Okay? There's some things that I've learned that's hard. Number one, death is hard. And it's real. And listen, I can't, when people tell me like they're going through something, and I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I know what you're going through. Listen, unless you've had someone die, you don't have no idea what someone's going through, and parents are supposed to outlive their kids. Okay. And Brian lost his son when his son was 19 years old. And not only that, Brian also accumulated success and then learned at one point when his cars were getting repoed, his house was getting repoed, everything's going away, that wasn't success. And that honestly, like living to be rich and then building a rich life are two different things. So there's two things that I want to talk about. Number one, what lessons did Brian learn in business? And by the way, he's doing it right now, but let's go back to when he wasn't doing it right. So some of you can realize like, hey man, maybe I need to shapen up because I don't want to get in that same spot. So this could be a lesson today to be able to put yourself in Brian's shoes to learn. And then also to come from a place of gratitude. Winners have a great attitude. Winners, they're amazing. Winners have a great perspective on life. Maybe you need a new set of lenses to see life. Maybe you think that you have it hard, but you'll actually realize that you've got it easy. Okay. And so, Brian, why don't you tell us a little bit about, we'll start with your son and then let's pivot off to business.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Perfect.
You're the dad. I heard your son was going on a trip to Colorado. You're talking to him a couple weeks before that, and you're talking to him, and he's like, "Hey, Dad," and he's kind of giving you a pep talk, right? Because you're going through some grinds. You're about to go drop off this check. You know what I'm saying? And it's like your son had something that he wanted to share with you that was more urgent than he ever wanted to share with you at any other point, right?
Right.
And tell us what he said to you. Tell us why he was giving you a pep talk, and then why don't you tell us kind of from there, like how it unfolds and how people, they need to really take, what they have in life right now and be grateful for it because you don't ever know when it's going to go away.
Absolutely. Well, again, appreciate you having me on the podcast too. And really excited about it. So everybody goes through problems in life. Life is hard. Let's not joke around about it. It's a very complicated situation. Life is so. My son was 19 years old. Great kid. Loved life. Lived it to full extent. And we were going through some issues. My ex-wife, and I, and I was dropping a check off to her it was a Friday actually. And my son was out, and I parked down the road, okay, and he was in his car, and he was getting ready to go to work, and he saw me out of his back window. And I usually would hide down the street so he wouldn't see this and, think that I was kind of, and he knew we were separated, but at that point, it's just very difficult for the family.
Sure.
So he kind of waved me in, and I drove up to him and got out, and he looked at me and he said, "Dad, what are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I just want to, come and make sure you're going to work," kind of telling a little fib. And he looked at me in the eyes, and it was kind of a weird moment. He looked at me in the eyes and said, "Hey, Dad, you need to find happiness." He goes, "You got to promise me you'll find happiness." And it didn't really hit me at that point. But I know going through my whole life, I really wasn't happy in anything I ever did. It was like I didn't enjoy the moment. I raised 3 beautiful kids. We vacationed in some of the nicest places in the world. We had all the toys. We had the lake houses, the cars, and all that good stuff. But I wasn't happy. And I used to repeat that a lot to coworkers of mine and friends of mine, that I wish I could just find happiness. And that day, my son looked at me and he said that. He said, "Dad, I want you to find happiness before it kills you." And we'll get into that. A month prior to that, I had a life-threatening event that occurred, and so that was kind of what he was talking about. And we'll get into that. But he said, "You need to find happiness." So he drove away. And that was it. And 2 days later, that was the last time I ever saw my son.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video. As you're hearing me talk about Brian's story, right, which, I mean, I'm sure some of you have gotten emotional. You're hearing, him talk about his son, how adversity strikes in life. I want you to understand this. In spite of everything that's happened, he's continued to be a good example of how to push through and be a winner. We're talking about Dream Home Design, which we partnered with, that is one of the greatest cabinet companies in the world, not just because it's great and family owned, but because they're faster than any other cabinet company around, number one. Number two, they make the best custom cabinets ever, exactly what you want with better quality. And number three, they're faster. What would take a normal company 5 months to do, this guy can do in under 30 days. It's just unreal. And again, it doesn't cost any more. You could go to Lowe's, you could go to Home Depot, you could order your cabinets there, and they're not going to be custom. They're not going to be that next level. And then you could actually do it with the custom cabinet builder and have this 10 times better quality, more custom stuff, which will make your house stand out even better. And it's not any more money. And so anyways, if you're looking at maybe doing a remodel, building a home, or doing anything, he services all 50 states inside the United States. There's going to be a link below, okay, in the description box. Just click on it, fill out your information, and Brian will reach out to you in the next 24 hours. Whatever you can think of, they can build. They're a designer team, and they do stuff with quality, speed, and it's just insane. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As you're meeting him today, I know you've seen him with me before. Maybe there's an upgrade you're wanting to do in your home or in a new home. Guys, you need to reach out to them before you do anything, okay? So super affordable, high quality, and very quick, all right? And they design it, and anything that you can dream of, they can make, and they can actually help dream for you, okay? So guys, go click the link below, okay? Fill out your information. They'll reach out in the next 24 hours. Let's get back to the video.
He was killed in a car accident going to Colorado. And he was about 30 minutes outside the place he is going to go camp. And it was about 2 weeks before he was going back to school at Purdue, and for sophomore year, and he was majoring in engineering. And the funny thing was, I was in the construction business, right? And he said to me about a month prior to that, he was afraid to tell me, but he said, "Dad, I'm going to give up on engineering." And I looked at him, I said, "Son, what do you mean you're going to give up on engineering?" He goes, "I'm going to get into the construction business." And so he was changing his major to construction management. And so when he went that sophomore year, he would have changed that at that point to construction management if he would have obviously made it back. So yeah, so him and a couple buddies were driving to Colorado, being kids, 19 years old. He was sleeping in the back seat of a van. And again, at this point, I didn't really know he was going. My wife and I were separated at the time. And about 30 minutes outside, his buddy kind of fell asleep at the wheel. And the van flipped over. My son was ejected from the van. And his two buddies that were in the front seat actually walked away without a scratch on them. And my son was killed instantly in that car accident. So, and if you've never been through that at all, it's really hard to explain. People don't realize those situations because you hear of them. I've heard friends and other people that have lost relatives or family members in whatever accident it may be, and you feel sorry for them, but you just don't know that feeling. And for me, I remember the day that I got the call. I'm a guy that always keeps my phone on all through the hours and never turn it off. And there was 10 missed calls that night on my phone. And somehow my phone got turned on vibrate. Must have been me, I don't know. So I woke up to the 10 missed phone calls, and we made the call back to my ex-wife, and just told me I had to get to the house. So we ended up driving to the house. I was living about 10 minutes away from the house my family was living in. And I remember that day I walked into the garage of my old home, and my ex-wife was there, and with a friend of hers, and they were sitting on the concrete steps outside the exterior door going into the garage. And my youngest daughter at the time came out, and she said, "Mom, you just got to tell him what's going on." And I remember walking up to that garage at that time. I looked, all the cars were in the garage or in the driveway. So I'm thinking, okay, well, when I got called to the house, maybe my son and my daughter got in some trouble, police, whatever. My kids were good kids and stuff, but you just never know. Kids will be kids, right? So I really didn't know what to expect, and so the first thing I did look for was the cars to make sure the cars were in the driveway, and they were. So when my daughter said to my ex-wife, "Hey, you just got to tell him what's going on," and at that point, my ex-wife basically said, "Your son was killed in a car accident," and I said, I was in shock. I didn't know what to think. I remember at that point, I ran out of the garage, ran across the street. I collapsed in the neighbor's grass across the street, broke down in tears, and it was probably 10 minutes later, as I'm crying in the grass in my neighbor's yard, that cars just started coming down the road. And it happened all day long. And the police came and they shut down the roads coming to our house. There was literally hundreds and hundreds of cars parked outside our house, all the way down the road, down the main thoroughway and everything. Kids coming from school and parents coming, and I sat over on the lot next door and just stayed there. I was in shock. I didn't know what to think, and the crazy thing about it was, obviously I didn't know where he was, where it happened. That came to me later. The hardest part, obviously you're losing your son and somebody that's so special to me, was he's 19 years old, and I remember thinking, and I still at this point think that, when your kids are in high school, it's kind of, they want to spend time with their friends. They go to college, they want to spend time with their college friends, and you kind of lose your kids. And and boys will be boys, right? Mm-hmm. And they're chasing chicks and they're doing their thing, and so you kind of lose them. And on those 3 to 4 years, and then about 21, 22, 23, they start to come back. Knowing that, I never got to experience that, with my son. I was a father, and he played a ton of baseball and sports, and I got to coach him during those times and stuff. But as your son's growing up, I wanted, like today, like right now, I think every day, it's not a day that doesn't go by. I think about he would be here, he would be in my business with us. He would, he would be here, and he is here, so to speak. But yeah, it's a tough one for sure, for sure.
What would you say to anyone that has someone that they love that, you know, maybe, you probably think about like, I should have been closer. We should have
Yeah,
spent more time together. I mean, like, what would you say to somebody, for the people, because you have daughters now, and
yeah, I
you
have
have
two
your wife.
daughters that are grown up and stuff,
So
and yeah, and it's funny because as
about
you're,
life being short.
yeah,
And
life is short. Like I said when I started out saying that, life is complex. It's hard, right? And we have to live it to full extent every day. And you know, I was building a business, and kind of forgot about the most important things in life. And I was grinding every day, and I was there, but I wasn't there. Um, my son would come up to me and, hey, Dad, can you do this with me? I'm like, oh, yeah, just a minute, son, just a minute, and I'd forget to go back to him, and that's all he wanted. That's all any kids want, to be with their father or their mother, and they kind of took to their mother more than me because I was gone from sun up to sundown, and I would start at 6 in the morning and I'd come home at 7 o'clock at night, and my mind really wasn't there. Honestly, I thought buying things for them, taking them places that are nice and neat and cool, and and oh man, give them a car when they're turned 16 and all those things. They don't need any of that. They really don't need any of that. And you don't realize that until it's too late most of the time. So when the accident happened, and for months after, I don't remember where I was, and I had to figure out a way to get past and through it and not get over it. And I'll never get over it, obviously. And it's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about him and wish that he was right next to me. Or I watch a video of him, or I have him on my phone, and I look at his face, his smiley face, and so that it's tough. But if I could tell anything to anybody out there is, you got to enjoy the journey, and the kids are is your journey, yeah, you got to build a business, and you got to provide for them, but the journey is so important. And when my son said to me that day, Dad, you gotta find happiness. Happiness was right in front of my nose. It was there. I just didn't realize it, and now it's too late. It was too late, So I've really learned about the journey, in the last 3 years now, and done a lot of soul searching myself. I've surrounded myself with great people, great teams, and it's really helped me, because again, you'll never forget that, And I've gotten way closer with my girls through all of this. They're finally realizing who Dad really is, because again, they didn't know who their dad was all through this, and it sucks because you're growing up and you see your parents go to work or your dad go to work, and that's what you see. You don't realize that that it's that the most important thing really is your family, and how that journey is taking place, and I never realized it. I can tell you this too. It's the craziest thing. I grew up in a great family. My mom and dad, they're still married. My mom passed away about a year ago, but they were married for 50 plus years. I got great brothers and sisters. And it's the crazy thing is I cannot remember, literally, when I say this, I cannot remember my past because I never understood the journey.
super important, guys. If you're watching this video right now and you're like, Andy, I'm not built like that. Bullshit. Yes, you are. Okay, got to train. That's the way it works. Train or complain. It's your choice. Okay, every day I train the greatest in the world. You know what I mean? Are you ready to kick some ass and build your legacy and make history? If you are, in the description box below on this YouTube video, there's going to be a link. You click on it, enter your phone number, email, full name, and I will personally reach out to you in the next 24 hours. If you're serious about kicking some ass, going to the new level, recreating next version of yourself, I'm your guy. Let's kill it.
At all. I mean, I can't talk about my college. I can't talk about, I was so focused on chasing the money and going after the money and going after thinking that was the right thing to do in life, to be able to provide. And my family wasn't like that growing up. My mom and dad. I was born in a Catholic family, and it wasn't about the money. It was about everything we did was a family. We went places together as a family. We enjoyed. I mean, every Christmas, even to this day, every Christmas, every holiday, we're still together. Now, obviously, I live, miles and miles away from them now. But yeah. So if one thing I could say is, that journey is so important. And it's sad that it took me this long to realize it. I'm 52 years old now, and I just want to make sure that I'm there for my girls now as well. My oldest is doing awesome, and then my youngest just graduated from Purdue, and she's a nurse now, and back in the Chicagoland area. So it's great just to see them grow, and we're getting closer every day, which is awesome.
So as a business person, most importantly, those that are in your life, as you're working hard, as you're building whatever it is you're building, just don't forget that the people that are with you are the work's the journey, the people are the journey, and if you just put all your attention in one area, you're going to look up one day, stuff always happens, and you don't want to have any regrets.
No, not at all. And like I said, I wasn't the best husband. I was, and we've talked about this too, and it's, and I've learned from that, I was an asshole, let's just face it, and I've heard the very special people in my life that I thought I was doing all the right things for, and it was completely ass backwards, so, I have a beautiful wife now. It's great. She's awesome.
Your life's totally different now.
Totally different, man. Totally
than
different.
It was back then.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that was 5 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, yeah.
So let's talk about some business advice. Okay. And by the way, sorry. I could say it a million times. Sorry for your loss, but like we all love you, and we,
appreciate that,
we see how you're growing every day, and he's still with you.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody needs a wake up. That's a wake up call. That's wake up call 1. Wake up call 2. Let's talk about business for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Lessons to be given to people trying to build something big, build something great. You've built a lot of big multi-million-dollar businesses.
Yeah.
You've lost them. You've made mistakes. You've had people, torture you through social media, through the paper.
Oh,
your face being waking up, your face being on the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about just a couple good business rules that you would tell people to live by.
Yeah, integrity is everything. Integrity is everything. And to you think you're doing the right things every day. You get up, you go to work, you provide a service or a product for somebody, thinking you're doing the best thing what you're supposed to be doing, right? In turn, I looked at it as I was there to make money.
Mm-hmm.
And with, again, just to compliment you, Andy, is it's coming here a little over 6 months ago now, and being around the Elliott group, it's really changed my thinking and outlook. That if you're here for the money, you're going to fail every time. I listen to you say all the time that you made all this money and it fell through your fingertips.
Mm-hmm.
I've made millions and millions and millions of dollars. I was driving the Ferraris, all the bullshit that everybody wants to have, and they think it's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I built these 9-figure businesses, and I was the biggest builder in our area. I was the guy that was ahead of the times. I was the guy that everybody said it can't be done, and I would go out and do it. And then, in the meantime, I wasn't doing it to help others. I was looking at it completely wrong. So, not that I meant to hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go out there to hurt anybody. I thought I was building a beautiful home. And I was putting in beautiful subdivisions and doing those things, but I looked at it all wrong. So integrity is number one. You got to have your core values. Let's face it. And if you get out of order of those core values, you're in chaos.
Yeah,
it's out of control.
So you say you need to write down what your standards are,
yeah,
what your ethos is,
mm-hmm,
what you believe in.
Mm-hmm. And
how you want to live.
Is the right. It's the right way,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny, because, being born in a Catholic, in a Catholic family, going to CCD classes, to going to church every weekend, doing all those things, I didn't live that life.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't live that life, and And so I've learned a lot from that. And again, now it sucks that it's taken, me losing several businesses, me being plastered in the front page of the newspaper, me being talked about daily. It's thinking that I'm doing all the right things, and winning all the accolades. I mean, let's think about it. You sit back and you go, "Oh man, you're a Business of the Year award winner." What does that really mean at the end of the day?
Yeah, nothing.
It means nothing, right? It means nothing. And it's
an ego feeder.
It's an ego feeder, yeah.
Yeah.
And and it's like,
I mean, it's awesome, but I mean, like, again, if you said you got to enjoy the journey, take care of the people that are with you on the journey.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have your core values, have your standards, have your integrity, and if you do that, and then you win the deal of the year, well, then it's totally great.
Totally great.
But if you have to sacrifice any of those things to get the deal of the year, then you look up and you're really not proud of you anyways.
Well, absolutely. I heard this.
And I think you have to go through that, though, to know that you don't want to go through that again.
Well, failure.
That's why your business is really doing well now and everything's good now, because sometimes we have to do that to get this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I heard something the other day. There's living a leaky life. I didn't know what that meant. What's a leaky life? I think, and it's, there's three things, and I just heard this, and it's funny. It's kind of stuck with me a little bit, is comparisons,
Mm-hmm.
So you compare people with your eyes, right? So I want to be like that guy, good or bad, I'm going to be like that guy, not knowing if he's a good person or he's not,
Yeah.
And then compromise. Okay. So you're going to compromise whatever you're going to do because that's connected. What's compromise? Connect to your heart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're going to compromise things to get to what you want to get, where you want to go. Okay, and then completeness is to be the third one. So what's that mean? Well, in your mind, you're thinking you're complete, but are we ever really complete?
No.
Never, right? So those three things, and I don't want to live a leaky life,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Because I want to live my life the right way, what God wants us to do, right? To lead us, and I want to live a fulfilled life.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, I heard that and I'm thinking, gosh, dang, man, that was me. I would see the ads, they have the private jets. I'm going to be like that guy, not knowing his life, and then people make compromises. Why do they make compromises? Because they got to do what they got to do to get where they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right or wrong, and then well, is it just good enough? Is it complete? Is my life complete? In some eyes, having nice things, having a great family, having a so-called successful business, that's complete. Is it? I don't think so anymore. That completely, because from an outsider looking in, they look at it and go, oh my gosh, those guys had everything.
Mm-hmm.
They had everything, right? Oh, he's got houses, he's got cars, he's got this, he's got that, he's got a business. He does what he wants to do when he wants to do it with whomever he wants to do it. He's got a complete life, right? No.
So if you were to give the business blueprint that you've learned, because you're 64, right?
Feel like it sometimes.
I'm just kidding. You're 44, right?
I'm 52.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, that was a good one, though. That was a good one, yeah.
So give us the grandpa advice. I'm just kidding.
Well,
no, I mean, for real, like anybody watching this, got a lot of guys, 15, 18, 25, 35, 45, 54. At any age, you can reset, right?
Yeah, and don't sacrifice. Here, let me just going to say this. That
yeah, let's bring it all home now.
Yeah.
From losing someone to losing in business to now, the blueprint, the play that you're running now. What play would you share with them?
So let me add one more thing, and it kind of lead up to what it. Okay, so I had a widowmaker. Everybody should know what a widowmaker is. You know what a widowmaker is?
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically a heart attack that has 50% of the main blood flow through the LED artery is supplied to the heart through this artery. Okay, mine was 100% clogged. Best shape of my life. I looked like an Andy Elliott. And I keeled over, and my girlfriend at the time saved my life with her daughter, and I was told from my cardiologist that 10 minutes later I would have passed away. Done. Now remember, a widowmaker, the success rate on a widowmaker is about 10%. Mm-hmm. So I shouldn't be here today. And let's be honest, I should not be here today. And the reason I say that now is because everybody says, "Oh, I shouldn't be here." I had a second one a week later. Okay, so that being said, I should not be here 10% of the people successfully make it through a widowmaker, okay? And when I'm sitting there in ICU and I'm there for 10 days at a time, and the doctor's telling me, Brian, you'll never weight train ever again in your life. You'll never shovel snow ever in your life. We don't know reason it's caused. You know, there was 4 or 5 reasons that people have widowmakers, you know, and some crazy things. And I knew I didn't do any of those things. And they said the number one cause, the only thing they can relate mine to, was stress. 100% caused by stress. You know, I had 250 plus employees at the time. I was chasing the money. Wasn't living life. Wasn't living with my family, right? So I can say this, that I was told I would never lift again. Now, when I met you, Andy, how much did I weigh? 120 pounds, something like that. I looked like I was 64 years old, and that's why you said that. I know. But you know, I've gained 30 pounds since then because my mindset is straight now and right. I've realized what is important in life. You know, health, family, God, all those things that we've talked about, you and I have talked about. So anybody can do whatever they want to do in life if their mind's right.
Hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video. As you're hearing me talk about Brian's story, right, which, I mean, I'm sure some of you have gotten emotional. You're hearing, you know, him talk about his son, how adversity strikes in life. I want you to understand this. In spite of everything that's happened, he's continued to be a good example of how to push through and be a winner. We're talking about Dream Home Design, which we partnered with, that is one of the greatest cabinet companies in the world, not just because it's great and family owned, but because they're faster than any other cabinet company around, number one. Number two, they make the best custom cabinets ever, exactly what you want with better quality. And number three, they're faster. What would take a normal company 5 months to do, this guy can do in under 30 days. It's just unreal. And again, it doesn't cost any more. You could go to Lowe's, you could go to Home Depot, you could order your cabinets there, and they're not going to be custom. They're not going to be that next level. And then you could actually do it with the custom cabinet builder and have this 10 times better quality, more custom stuff, which will make your house stand out even better. And it's not any more money. And so anyways, if you're looking at maybe doing a remodel, building a home, or doing anything, he services all 50 states inside the United States. There's going to be a link below, okay, in the description box. Just click on it, fill out your information, and Brian will reach out to you in the next 24 hours. Whatever you can think of, they can build. They're a designer team, and they do stuff with quality, speed, and it's just insane. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. As you're meeting him today, I know you've seen him with me before. Maybe there's an upgrade you're wanting to do in your home or in a new home. Guys, you need to reach out to them before you do anything, okay? So super affordable, high quality, and very quick, all right? And they design it, and anything that you can dream of, they can make, and they can actually help dream for you, okay? So guys, go click the link below, okay? Fill out your information. They'll reach out in the next 24 hours. Let's get back to the video.
Completely right. You know, Brian's taking 12 different medications a day, literally 12. I remember this basket we had, and my girlfriend would have them all numbered, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 12. And there was literally 12 different medicines I was taking, to where I was taking all those medicines that would hurt my joints, my bones, my muscles, my everything would basically hurt. And I told myself, I'm getting off of this stuff. You know, and 3 years to the date, I'm off everything. I'm not taking one pill, 0 pills. I have stents in, you know, had two, like I said, 2 widowmakers. They were worried about hardening of the heart, which my heart will never harden, you know. So that being said, so I want to share this. People can do whatever they want to do in life if they focus on that, and they follow the playbook, okay? And everybody's playbook in their eyes might be different. But we all know what the playbook is in life. We all know what it is. So
What is the playbook?
To me, I think you got to be the person. Integrity is so important. You got to follow God. You know, that playbook is do what you say you're going to do at all times. Okay? And all those naysayers out there, all those people that talk to you and say that can't be done, I go the different direction. That's my playbook. That's good. I go against the grain. Okay? Not with the grain. And it's proven and it's working for us.
Is that how you make your cabinets too?
I do grain match.
I'm just kidding.
So no, I just totally believe in that you know, mind is so important.
Yeah,
You know?
whatever you think is going to happen is going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And if somebody says you can't do something, like the doctor said you're never going to work out again, but here you are working out, put on 30 pounds of muscle, you're building yourself back up.
Well, fear. Like, what's fear? Fear is false expectations appearing real, right? Let's be honest, and it's the truth.
Yeah,
it's
fear kills more.
It kills more, right? And the fear is the devil, right? And so you sit and talk about that. And so I ran that through my whole life. I ran that way, my whole life. Mm-hmm. Always thought I was going to go broke. Okay, always chased the money. Okay, didn't ever think I would lose a son or a daughter or anybody. Never thought I'd get divorced. Right? I never thought any of that. I was the man,
Yep.
But life is life.
Yep.
And life fucks some people up sometimes,
Yep. But you can come back.
Oh, you think you're the comeback kid, brother?
Yeah, but that's the key, though. I wanted to finish with that, is that when these things happen, you have a choice.
Absolutely.
To either come back or to fall.
And let me end with this for me, that I gave up. I'm not gonna lie to you. I gave up as well, because I didn't know anything else. When I lost my son, I had the heart attacks. Well, I lost the business, had the heart attacks, lost my son, all within a 1-year period. Okay. And I remember walking in one day after my son passed away. I was at my girlfriend's house, and I was so fucked up that I walked in the shower with my clothes on. Shower on. She walked in and literally saw me showering with my clothes on. I swear to God, true story.
No, I believe you, because you're crazy like that.
I'm fucking nuts, right? And so I walk in and she's like, "What are you doing?" And I couldn't even speak, right? Yeah, so crazy. So yeah, but no, I think honestly, I think everybody can actually learn from somebody else and have a mentor in life. Mm-hmm. And with that leadership role that I look up to, and obviously Andy coming here with the Elliott Group has just paid dividends for me, and it's worked really well for us right now. And we're building a business. We know what's right in life now. We know which path we want to follow in life, and it's working. It's working for us. So.
Good. Well, I'm proud of you, man. Seriously.
Yeah, it's working. So
love you, buddy.
Love you,
Super
man.
proud of you. Everybody, it's cool sometimes to get the chance, okay, to put yourself in someone else's shoes and just think, like, what am I missing? Right? What do I need to change? What do I need to start doing? What do I need to stop doing? Okay. Now remember this awesome guy here, him and his wife own an incredible cabinet company. Okay. We've partnered up with them because everyone in this world, especially my wife, the kitchen is everything. Mm-hmm. The whole house is everything, but the kitchen's everything. And there's tons of cabinets. There's tons of things. When you walk in, it's everything that you see. Honestly, just everything is just bland and dull. And these guys, their Dream Home Designs, they create the coolest, awesomest cabinets, highest quality, speed, affordable, everything. Is just amazing. And they do remodels. They whether you're, I'm making a point, whether you're doing a remodel, whoever does your cabinets is up to you as the person that's going to get the remodel done. And a lot of the times, if you have a builder, you don't really have a say in who that is. You just use the person he uses. You can have a say in that. You can decide who's going to do your cabinets when you're doing a remodel. You can do all these things. And so today I'm handing over a really good resource for any and every one of you to reach out to, okay, for any of the things that have to do with doors, cabinets, etc. Quality, insane, okay? And when you reach out to him, he'll explain next level what they do that the other companies don't do. Secondly, from colors to design, they have in-house designers. You can dream of it, and then they'll build it, or they can dream it for you, and you can tell them where it's going, and they'll show you something that'll blow your mind. Their before and afters, what you guys do on remodels, are insane. And it's all affordable, which is what I love, because everything that normally I share with somebody that has so much value is just outpriced. Absolutely. It has to be for rich people to get. Dude, this is like going into Lowe's and a Home Depot, but you can get it from him. It's insane. And the speed, the time that they can turn it around. They have their own manufacturing plant right here, so they have everything. So anyways, love you guys. I appreciate you. If they want to look up Dream Home Design, like on Instagram, I know you guys are just starting to build your page to see some of your stuff.
So it'd be dreamhome.designaz.
Dreamhome.designaz.
Or if they just want to talk.
That's the website, right,
yeah.
Becky? No. She said no, it's not.
Yeah, Dream Home Design AZ.
Dream Home Design AZ.
Yeah.
Is on Instagram.
Dreamhomedesign.com
Dreamhomedesign.com is the website. Okay, and that's his beautiful wife back there that's correcting his ass.
Yeah. And if you just want to talk or you need some help through something you're struggling, just, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah.
I'm here for anybody. So.
Yeah, I love it, man. All right, guys. So you got a great resource today for any and all of your cabinet needs if you need it. And then lastly, you got an opportunity today to, sometimes it's good to sit down for 45 minutes and listen to someone else's life so you can realize, man, I don't have those problems. Okay, wow, well, you're lucky. You need to wake up. Or, oh, my God, I'm going through the same problems. Oh, okay, cool. This guy's the comeback kid. He came back, so can I. Okay? That's it. And so life is good. Love you, buddy.
Thanks, Andy.
Guys, have a blessed day. We'll see you in the next podcast. Let's kill it. Hey guys, I just want to tell you, you're the true 1%ers. You made it till the end of the video. Do me a favor, share it with the friend that wants to go to another level. Make sure you like the video, comment below so I know who you are, set your notifications, and then subscribe to the channel. We got daily sales training videos dropping. I'll see you soon.